That's such a cool intro.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Dragon Culture Media proudly brings to you the Command Center. And today in the Command Center, we have the wonderful matriarch of the Unfiltered Outlaws podcast, Miss Donna Hall. Miss Donna Hall, how are you doing today?
I'm glad to be here and good to see y'all again. Ever since the Power Rangers that mashup that we did on the fly,
Right? And that was a
that
lot
was
of
good
fun.
and fun. Yeah.
And
So
then,
how are
as
you
all,
two today?
my partner in crime, Miss Mac McCara.
Hi, how's everybody doing?
She's a little, under the weather today. She might be, the what's his name from Winnie the Pooh,
Eeyore.
Eeyore.
A little
She's
bit.
the
Eeyore.
Eeyore of today. You love her, but she might be just the dumpy cloud today, which is perfectly fine. She's here.
That's okay. Eeyore's my favorite.
Everyone loves Eeyore. So we've got some great topics today. We're gonna get to know Miss Donna Hall here a little bit. We're also going to talk about, her trip down to Orlando and MegaCon and her experience there. Then we're going to touch on the 90s classic At First Sight that had Val Kilmer, which was one of his breakout roles. So we're going to discuss that a little bit. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But let's start with you, Miss Donna.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll probably hear me call you that a lot. It's just what I do. It's a respect thing, and it might be a little bit of Southern hospitality.
Well,
But
beats what I get called in healthcare, so I'll take it.
so why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Let's see. I've been in nursing for 25 years. Been pretty much all over the world. My father was a ranger. He was in the Army 32 years. So we moved pretty much everywhere. 4 older brothers, which is probably, why I'm not girly. So when you said this was a chick flick, I was just like, me. I do chick flicks, but it depends on which one they are. I also have friends that say I was a man in a past life, so that's probably why I don't do that many chick flicks. But and then after my parents passed away, my children are grown. I have a boy and a girl, and Nicholas Austin and Alexandra Dawn. So they're grown. So I got tired of freezing my ass off in West Virginia, where I was taking care of my parents, and I decided to move to Florida.
Very cool.
Yeah. And then I had a female mood swing and texted Spider and texted Beast and said, "Hey, let's stream."
Well,
So
that is news to me. For whatever reason, I thought you were still in West Virginia. I didn't know you had actually moved to Florida. So that is good to know.
yeah, I freaked poor Jay out because I said I was moving to Florida, and it was about the same time that a YouTuber, no, it's Twitch, she had gotten killed by a fan after he ran up and tried to hug her at a con. And so I said I was moving to Florida. I have a brother that lives in Mount Dora. And he's like, "Why, Donna? Why Florida? Why Florida?" So I was like, "Easy, Jay. You're cute, but you're not stalker cute. So, chill."
Grin Dukas, you're a Florida bro too?
So after that, he chilled out a little bit. Yeah, I moved here in October.
Okay. Well, I am still in Appalachia. I live right on the border between Virginia and West Virginia.
Oh wow, I
And
just moved from Princeton.
oh, well, small world. I know Wasp is she's more on the coast side of Virginia, so we're not that close, but we're in the same state.
Yeah.
But no, the more people I meet, the more I'm finding it's a small world after all, and that's not just a meme on the Disney song, but
Yeah.
it's a little bit of reality there. I was supposed to go to MegaCon this year, but then I had to get things fixed on my car, took the money
Mhm.
I'd saved up. So now my goal is to save up for next year. But I'm hoping Jeremy decides on what he wants to do, so I can figure out if I need to, save money for MegaCon or save money for the cruise. So
Yeah. They were testing that theory the other day, and he said a cruise is probably going to be about $2,000 just for the
yeah,
cruise. That doesn't count any flights or anything else. So
honestly, I was running the numbers and I'm like, well, I think that would be cheaper than MegaCon, honestly. With like depending on where I'm assuming the cruise would start at, off the east coast of Florida. Um, so it would be the travel and then the tickets to get on the boat. I'm thinking that'd be cheaper, at least for me, it'd be cheaper than going to MegaCon because of the travel and everything.
yeah, I think it was Cajun Corey last night that said that that's about what he spent on MegaCon this year between
So,
hotels and travel and food and everything
tickets
that
to
he
all the
bought. Yeah,
events and yeah. So
yeah,
it's I would have when I ran the numbers between what me and my mom together would have spent, it would have been close to about $4,000 to $5,000 for the
yeah,
entire week. So
yeah. Because everything around here doubles in price.
this sleep deprived nonsense. The other half is mood swings brought on by mental pause.
You know, the sad
Well,
part is, and this time I got to give him that because he's actually right. But don't tell him I said that.
he just heard you.
Shh.
Mm. Well,
That's
okay.
okay.
So,
I'll just block him from his own stream.
uh, so a little more connection there. So my mom was in the Air Force. She did 4 years, and she had multiple jobs. So her main training was Skep Sims nurse, I
Hmm.
believe, and she would she was trained to go on site, pick up injured soldiers, and bring them back to base or wherever they were, hunkered down.
Right.
And then her mainland training was, believe it or not, her mainland training was chemical warfare
Wow.
to like take care of chemical burns and things like that.
That's cool.
So she was even for a short time she was I don't know who because I guess it's still classified, but she was a private RN to certain generals and stuff.
Nice.
Like whenever it wasn't like she went to them, it was if they happened to be on her base where she was stationed, then she was with them. This is
Right.
my understanding of it. So,
Yeah, they usually have a list of people that have higher clearance.
mhm.
So that way, they know who to pull in.
And she, even with her, she's medically retired and she still has her clearance and she can still go on any base that she wants to.
Yeah,
So,
that's cool.
mhm.
Yeah, I've pretty much just bounced around my nursing career. I've pretty much done everything from pediatrics to psych to in Virginia, I worked a cardiac step down unit, and I just left the hospital down here. I was doing med surge. So now I have a nice cushy job in assisted living.
Okay. Bunch of sleepy old folks, huh?
Why not? Most of them sleep all night.
I spent 6 months as a CNA for a state-run facility, and that was not a good experience.
Yeah, most of it's not.
So, yeah, my time there spent most of it. The reason why I wasn't still there is because I spent most of it fighting with the other staff. I fought more with the other staff than I did with the residents,
Yeah, I
and
can
it
believe
was
that.
and
It's
it
like
was
swimming
more.
in a tank of piranhas.
Yeah, well, it's no one wanted to do their job, and where I was a temp, I was expected to do my job,
Mm-hmm.
and but then they would abuse a resident, but the management would get mad at me for turning people in.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, no, I'm not gonna. I don't know. People had a very bad opinion of me, and I'm like, you're hurting people. excuse me if I don't have sympathy for being a snitch when you're hurting people.
Yeah, it's and it's even worse today because they seem to think that we make a lot of money. So they go in the field for all this money that we don't make. And then when they find out that we really don't make it, um, they give an even more piss poor performance because they don't want to be there and they don't care. So especially the travel nurses, because they know they'll pick up a couple of shifts and they'll be gone. And them not doing anything isn't going to matter because about 10 years ago, I was told by a director of nursing, because we had this one that didn't do anything, didn't pass pills, nothing. He worked 16 hours a day, spent most of it reading the newspaper, and then spent the other part of it asleep at his house. Half time he didn't even give his pills, his insulin, nothing. And I was informed that a dead body was better than nobody.
Wow.
Meaning that at least there was somebody on the cart.
Goodness.
Yeah. So at that point, after that, healthcare just started to get worse and worse. It's nothing like it was when I started. So now it's all customer service. If you go in the hospital, Medicare and Medicaid actually have this satisfaction score that you have to reach. They send out surveys after people go home. And if you don't get a 9 or a 10, then Medicare fights the bill and tries not to pay you because the customer wasn't satisfied with their care.
Well, that's stupid.
Yeah. It's just another way for Medicare not to pay the bill.
Yeah. Well, I mean, after watching Jay's stream today, after watching that, I feel like the entire outside of the military, and maybe even including the military, but it seems like the whole medical field is just one big Ponzi scheme.
It
Not
is.
just insurance. Like insurance is a Ponzi scheme. Medicaid, Medicare, Medi-Cal, which never heard of that before today.
Mm-mm.
And I'm like, that just sounds stupid.
Yeah, I thought at first he made that up. I was like, what? So it must be a state-run division of Medicare or Medicaid.
The way they were talking about it is it sounds like it's its own thing, but it like mirrors Medicaid. It's
Probably.
state-run. It's not connected to Medicaid, because if it was connected to Medicaid, then that means they're embezzling federal funds, which means Trump would have jurisdiction. And so, but they're talking about it like Trump doesn't. It's like, well, the only way Trump doesn't is if it's separate from Medicaid.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. It's all a headache. I largely tune out. I watch Jeremy and Jay to get some semblance of what's going on. So.
Yeah. At least he didn't get taken down today, so we're making progress.
He thought he was going to over showing the Transformers stuff. He was like, oh, there's a gun again.
Yeah, I think a cartoon gun's a little bit different than him just showing somebody just blasting away.
Which is funny because like I've seen people with like guns behind them in their setup, so it's just
yeah, but that's more of a display thing. Like Alec Baldwin's finger has guns and stuff mounted, but I think his are actually toy guns.
Yeah.
But Blaine's guns are real that he has up on his wall. But I think it's because they're not handling them and firing them on stream.
Well, I've also learned that the age of the gun matters. If the gun is at a certain age, like if it's old, vintage, or whatever, it doesn't matter if it works. It doesn't trigger the. If like it's a flintlock or whatever.
Yeah, it's a collector's item.
Yeah,
it's collectors.
Doesn't matter that it works.
No.
And I'm like, that's asinine. That makes no sense, because whether the gun is ancient or not, if it works, it should violate it.
Yeah,
but I'm a logical person, and these algorithms are not logical.
They're really not. I mean, you could still Minecraft with it,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I've given up trying to figure out YouTube's algorithm. We're just here for fun anyway, so
Yeah.
We obviously won't do a gun stream.
I say the old adage is, or what is it? I'm bad with words today. I say the old saying, I'm not here for a long time, I'm here for a good time.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's how it goes. So
Well, that sounds like Beast.
my
Yeah, he's creeping on the stream instead of working.
Well, he's trying to see, what kind of trash you're talking about him.
A lot.
He's nosy. I don't blame him. I'd be the same way. The only reason why I'm not in Mac and Brimstone's stream more often is because they're streaming when I'm asleep. So
Yeah.
Mac over there get away with a lot.
Yeah, I try to stay awake at least through Jay and kind of wind down a little bit. Spend some time with my doggo,
Mm-hmm.
I will get out like dog on the trolls that like drive me nuts more than I will people I like. So if I like people, I'll be very courteous and I'll tease them a little bit, but I won't like I tend to be more respectful of their privacy and to just not like be rude to anybody. So
Oh
if
God,
like
you must hate me. You don't pick on me at all.
oh no, I like if I like you, like I'll tease you a little bit, but it
That's what I'm
depends.
saying. You don't pick on me at all. That's what I'm saying.
Because like I
Mhm.
pick on like all the other streamers, but I do it in a loving way. I try to at least. So,
There you
but
go.
We probably get more viewers if you and I had scuffles back and forth.
That's it, man. You can be Beardo and Savvy.
oh gosh,
Listen, off screen, Makara is always mentioning that she's got a boyfriend, and I'm like, what are you doing? We got a business relationship here. There's nothing here. Like you ain't got nothing to worry about.
Yeah, there you
I don't
go.
ever say I don't ever say nothing because I'm like I know what she's thinking. She doesn't have anything to worry about. But like
no,
she said, I don't
I
want to tease her either.
I don't think that it's fine. He's he's pretty understanding because he runs in the same circles. So,
Oh, well, there you go.
uh,
Yeah, you kind of got to have somebody that's, used to this
mhm.
to kind of deal with it.
Well, that's how we met.
I just pulled a beardo. Well, everyone gets one. Okay. So no, yeah, as she mentioned, we were brought together by Aunt Jeanette. We
Yeah, she's like, I don't know Pokemon from Power Rangers. She's funny.
and I think heck, I don't know what stream it was we started interacting with each other at first. We saw each other in pretty much everyone's. I know we started interacting with each other the most on Canman's streams.
Well, it was mostly on Twitter
Hmm.
because you were posting and I was interacting on Anjanette and then other stuff and then I was joining your stream and she's like, "Oh, hey, you know more about this than I do. Why don't you hop on?" So it's kind of an
Yeah,
impromptu hop on. So, and
yeah.
then we made a show out of it. We have a lot of fun feeding off each other in the show. So
Hey, why not? I mean,
Yeah.
before I texted them, the Beast and Spider Unlimited, they knew of each other, but they didn't really, interact all that much other than Jay's chat.
yeah,
Yeah.
So, I just thought it would be three really unique personalities to put together and, see what does or doesn't happen.
Heck, I would have thought that I would have had more interaction with Spider, especially when we did the Power Ranger stream, because the few times that I've been on with you guys, it seems like me and Spider just didn't say nothing to each other. It was all me, you, and Beast, and Spider's just out there like looking around like.
He usually runs the tech part. He likes to make sure that that the stream doesn't go down, because I'm famous for something going wrong every time I'm on a stream. So
I'm his best white friend. Oh my. Okay. Loved how he
There
had to
you
put that
go.
caveat on it.
I guarantee you, if we were talking about martial arts movies, Spider will be very talkative.
Well, Power Rangers is kind of martial arts. It's the
Yeah,
McDonald's of
it
martial arts.
is. I think a lot of
Yeah.
it is just his mic wasn't working and he was he was tired.
Yeah.
Well, he had just gotten to Florida that day, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was wiped out.
Because we actually weren't even going to stream. It was just a random thing. And he had driven from South Carolina.
Well, heck, you gotta blame Beast for that stream, because he was suggesting. I said, hey, if you guys are doing it, I'm down. And then Beast
I
was
blame
like,
Beast for a lot of things.
he took it as like, oh, we're doing it, and I was just like, okay.
Yeah, it was fun though.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah.
Sal's just got a steady demeanor. He's kind of the polar opposite of me and Beast. That's why I say he's like the big brother that has to babysit when mom and dad go on date night.
I don't know why, and he'll probably hate me for saying this, but every time I hear you say his civilian name, for whatever reason, I think of Shallow Hal.
I remember that movie. We're gonna have to do a reaction to that movie.
I love that movie. It's hilarious. It's cringy,
Of course, I'll
but
probably
it's
mess up.
hilarious.
I'll be sleepy and I'll keep calling it Shallow Sal.
The thing is, I would laugh even harder if it's not far from the truth.
No, he's actually a very sweet guy. He's a complete gentleman.
Well, Jack Black was a gentleman in that.
How
one.
he ended up with me and Beast,
He
I would say I have no idea, but I know I'm guilty.
He was rude to women he liked, but he was a gentleman.
Beast is the excitement. Beast is talking trash in your chat.
I see that.
Yeah.
I don't know how to use any of the mod features through StreamYards. Not a clue.
Yeah, you're lucky that I'm not a mod over here, Beast. I'd time you out.
I think I did make you a mod, honestly.
Oh, I might be. I don't know. No, I'm not blue. I don't think I'm blue. No. But
no Blue Man Group
I would
song?
just time him out. I timed him out the other day in Jay's chat and he freaked out on me. He's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I'm like, he'll be back in 5 seconds. It's okay.
Oh, he timed me out the other day when I said that Command Center was going to take over the Outlaws channel.
Oh, Beast?
Yeah. And I was like, what the hell? I was joking. And he was like, I don't care. And I'm like, fine.
Yeah, we were playing around in Jay's chat and I timed him out for like 5 or 10 seconds and Jay was like, don't do that.
Well, speaking of Jay, let's get into MegaCon. So why don't you talk about that? Tell us about that.
This was actually my second year. I came down last year, and that was when I first met all the G&G people, Jay and everybody. But I didn't really meet a lot of the people in the chat or anything. Yeah, I know you didn't freak out. But it wasn't really as fun because I didn't meet a lot of people in the chat. So everybody, all the G&Gers were so busy that there wasn't a whole lot of hangout time. But this MegaCon, I've met so many people from the chat. Canman, Nagernal. Well, actually, I met Nagernal last year. I met Simpy. He was standing beside me. I was like, oh my God, a Simpy in the wild. And he turned around and he said, who are you? I said, I'm the one that pays to Minecraft you in Canman streams. Yeah. And he's like, why would you do that, Donna? I'm like, because I have a credit card and I can.
He's a goofball, but he's a sweetheart.
I think it's really ironic that when I was saying I was going to go, he was saying he wasn't. And the day that I said I couldn't go, he was like, oh, I'm going now.
Yeah, I think Canman talked him into it. And, I met Single Guy Cooking, Elite Super Grunt, Bruce Wayne. We met Wasp and Metal Slave. So we had a good old time, we kind of hung out. The groups, it was really weird because the groups would morph back and forth. Like X-Wing would have 5 or 6 guys with him, and then 2 or 3 would break off and go with Mo, and 2 or 3 more would join. And it was just this constant rolling group of people you were hanging out with. Yeah, you were just rotating in and out of groups all night long. So it was pretty cool.
It's funny because like I really want to meet Beardo and Jeremy. I really just want to shake their hand and move along. But I really want to have conversations with Quarter Black and Gary because I'm a big conspiracy head, alien guy. I love Forbidden Frontier, and I'm like, I could have discussions with them for hours.
Yeah, it did freak me out.
They would probably be telling me to go away.
That people came up and introduced themselves because someone told them who I was. Like Laughing Man, who I've never talked to, came up at the 9 Line store and introduced himself. And I said, I'm Donna Hall. And he said, yeah, I know. They pointed you out from over there and said, that's Donna from chat. It's wild when people do stuff like that.
I think Beast has a crush.
Well, she is a cutie.
I thought that too. She followed me on Instagram first. She found me on Instagram, and I was like, how? I don't know how she found me because I don't hardly do anything on Instagram.
Yeah,
like I've got
I don't either.
But I didn't know who she was at first, and then I did some searching, and I was like, oh yeah, I know who she is. So I followed her back.
Yeah, she's really nice. We have a lot of fun in Epic Mike's chats. We like to take pot shots at Mike. And I wore a shirt that said, be responsible, drink with a nurse. And people just, the people that were drinking real heavy would come up and take a picture with me and point at my shirt. And they send it to people going, look, I'm being responsible. So that's how I met Elite Super Grunt. He's like, well, I'm an alcoholic, so I'm going to send that to my family so they know I'm being responsible.
You guys almost had a clip on me. I had to sneeze.
That would have been fun. Do it again.
Beast would have won the Gata, and then I would have had my own Jeremy snapshot.
Well, now you know why Donna and I prefer to stay off camera.
Exactly. All you can do is clip my voice. You can't clip anything else.
Listen, in a lot of ways, that's more dangerous for a woman than it is a man.
You know what? Take your best shot, internet. I really don't care.
Listen, some of the ladies that show up on Tuesday night's main event, they make these sounds when they're doing the gaming streams, and I'm like, I just shake my head. And I'm like, if they only knew.
Yeah.
like Sevi, Stabby, not to get the two confused.
Yeah, I've watched Sevi's streams before.
Savvy is worse at it than Sevi is. And I think Sevi is more innocent than Savvy is, because I think Savvy does it on purpose.
Oh, yeah. That's just like that penis picture she had. That started all that controversy. She finally admitted that took her like 2 to 3 hours to finally get that perfect shot.
Well, when she first did that, I must have posted it 100 times. The GIF of from the Medea movies of Joe saying Medea's got a prostate.
But it got a lot of mileage, though. It really did.
Oh yeah, and made Jeremy a shit ton of money.
Oh, of course.
And she was probably hitting it up, saying, "Hey, give me my cut."
And I have met Jeremy's a really nice guy. He'll look you dead in the eye and he'll talk to you. He'll answer all your questions. Nice guy. One of my top moments of MegaCon was that Raider, I didn't know Raider knew who I was. And he came over and told me that I upset Beardo at the book signing. And I was like, how can I upset Beardo? And he said, hello, Donna Hall twice, and you just kept walking. I was like,
poor Beardo.
I didn't hear him. I didn't expect Beardo to say hello to me.
It was probably very crowded and loud.
So I was also running on no sleep, so it's hard to tell who said hello to me.
I love picking on Beardo. He makes it fun. I'm probably one of the few people that will still pick on him in his own chat. Everyone
Oh, I
else
do. He
just
gets mad
does.
at me.
Everyone else is like it feels like it's just a love fest for him in there, and I'm like, no, I can't be doing that. Like I give him his props. I'll do like a fist bump emoji every once in a while, saying it's
Yeah.
so he knows it's all good.
Yeah, he got
But
mad at me. He got mad at me on X, I guess, about 2 months ago, because he was posting that thing with the peanut allergy again, telling people to man up and just eat a handful of peanuts and whatever. And somebody's like, "Yeah, Beardo, I really don't think that's a good idea." And I said, "I agree with you. And unlike Beardo, I am a medical professional." And he blocked me inside of 5 seconds.
wow. I still got a gripe to pick on him because we were supposed to do a Power Rangers stream on Cole Hauser's channel. Me, him, Cole Hauser, Epic Mike.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, email me. And I'm like, okay. And I'm talking back and forth with him. Mike's hitting him up a couple times. And then just nothing. Quiet for 2 months. And then MegaCon, when MegaCon started happening, I'm like, well, it ain't happening no time soon. Not while MegaCon's going on. And I was just like, then I started thinking, I was like, does Cole Hauser even want to do it? He's not a Power Rangers guy. He's a Transformers and G.I. Joe guy. And I was like, well, I don't know. Maybe when I get to meet them in person, they'll actually want to do it.
Oh, Cole Hauser's just been really busy.
Dude stays busy.
He does, and plus he's going to be down in Florida, I think, another 2 weeks.
Yeah, because he's buying a house down there.
Yeah, he's house hunting. But which one is Beardo's favorite Batman out of all the Batmans?
I think I don't think he's too keen on the Ben Affleck one. I honestly don't know, but if I would have to guess, I'd say it's probably between Keaton or Bale. It's one of those two. I know Jeremy's is Bale.
Yeah. Yeah, I think his is Christian Bale too.
I don't know why I can't remember. Someone in the group prefers Keaton. Me personally, and maybe it's recency. Well, I don't know. I prefer Ben Affleck's, to be honest. Like I get everyone has issues with those movies and everything, but I really liked his portrayal, and I will open up and say I was not for him to be Batman until I saw him, and I was like, oh, this is actually really good. And then everyone else is hating on it, and I'm like, well, damn. Okay, yeah, I guess I'm just a black sheep in the fandom.
I don't think I saw his. I guess I might have to go back and watch that one.
Yeah, so he did the two. He did the Batman v Superman and Justice League. And the thing is, everyone's reasonings for not liking the movies, I don't necessarily disagree with them. I think they're valid criticisms, but they're just not bad enough for me to dislike the movies, if that makes sense.
Right. So. Right. See, you have a traitor in your chat.
I see it. I see it. He's probably gonna, roast me up one side and down the other on Sunday. That's fine. It's free country here. We ain't like Hawaii.
Well, and then again, too, we've got you set up with Dreaded Dinosaur.
I'm looking forward to that. That's on the first,
April
right?
1st. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm embarrassed because I still haven't read through Daughter's Revenge. I've got it here on my coffee table, but I'm starting back on work after my vacation and everything. And so I need to.
Don't feel bad because I haven't even read my Blood Ruth or my Death Shroud or any of them because I just haven't had time. They're still sitting in the wrap they were shipped in.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want them to get messed up.
I'm kind of like questioning if I want to read it. Not that I'm not looking forward to it. It's just like I don't want to mess up the book or anything. I kind of want to keep it pristine, but then I still want to read it. So I'm a little torn on what to do. I mean, after I made that really successful song, which I still can never thank Beast enough for doing the animation for it, that was way more successful than I thought it would be.
He does
So,
have a natural talent, but I don't want to give him an ego because he already peacocks every week anyway. So
well, I mean, he's an Islander. He's just like the Samoans. It's what they do.
well, I know I'm a
So
Texan. I just stand up to their kneecaps and threaten to kick them in the ankle and bring them down a notch.
you remember the Geico commercials? It's what they do. Speaking of the Geico commercials and Epic Mike, I will not let those die. I refuse to let those jokes die. Every time I see him in a chat, I do the Wednesday jokes with him. Mike, guess what day it is? Hump day. Yeah.
I love that commercial. That was great. My favorite one was Mayhem.
hmm
I like Mayhem. He had one where he had the shot collar,
Well,
and it
isn't
was
that
so
progressive?
no, it was Mayhem. He's Allstate, isn't it? Is it
Yeah,
Allstate?
the
Okay.
mayhem
It's
guy.
it's yeah, it's one of them.
Yeah.
What I really loved is when they finally put the caveman
Mm-hmm.
and the gecko together in a commercial. That was funny.
Yeah.
So
See, I actually
Yeah,
have a commercial art and advertising degree. That was actually my first degree, so I like the way those commercials are done. Back when
commercials
commercials were actually good.
commercials can be enjoyable. It's just they're so insufferable, which is why internet streaming services took off, is because of the cable commercials. People got tired of the bullshit commercials. And if the commercials are actually still funny, Netflix, Hulu, none of that would have taken off.
Yeah, I remember. I was getting my degree back when there was Domino's. I think it was had Avoid the Noid, and
Mm.
the Wendy's had the little old "Where's the beef, lady?"
I don't know why I always thought that was Arby's.
Yeah, it was Wendy's. Where's the beef?
My cat is trying to get my attention.
Yeah, my puppy's over there pouting. He always pouts when I'm online.
Hold on 1 second. I'll show you off. Come here.
well, the mayhem guy I mostly remember from Law and Order SVU when he played Brian Cassidy.
Exactly. But he
Come on.
did one where he was a guard dog, and
Mhm.
I wasn't
This is
expecting
Tilly.
the shock collar. So when it shocked him and he went down, I literally laughed out loud. Oh, such a cute cat. Mine's asleep. I'm
The
gonna leave
worst,
her that way
the
because she's a
most
hellion.
obnoxious commercials I get are like the Planned Parenthood ones, or the.
Mm,
It's like I can't stand those, and I usually mute them.
yeah.
I got my other one is asleep, and it's funny because my young one, my baby, is like twice the size of Tilly, who is my old girl. So
Yeah. Pyewacket's my big long haired one. She's about 15 years old. Somebody dumped her in my yard and she followed my other rescue cat in.
I think, let's see here. I've lived here 7 years. I got Tilly after my first year. She was about 2, so I'm thinking Tilly is close to, if not 10 years old. So,
There you go.
but yeah. Well, no, I'm glad everyone had a fun time at MegaCon. I wish I could have been there. Um, but I'm looking forward to next year, and we'll see how things go. Hold on 1 second. I gotta plug my computer in. It's almost dead already. 1 second. You guys can continue.
Okay.
Dead
McCara,
air.
how many animals do you have, McCara?
I just have the one dog, and she's a Welsh Terrier.
Oh, there you go.
She's on
Mine's
my
a
lap.
boxer hound mix. She's about 80 pounds.
Yeah, she's on my lap right now, and she's kind of snuggling. She must like my new hoodie. I got my Cobra Cast hoodie yesterday, so
Awesome.
yeah.
Yeah.
She's also been kind of anxious this week, so she's been really snuggly lately.
Okay, so there's this weird thing that's been going on for me the last few weeks in the chat
Mm-hmm.
and social media. So on Facebook, I know she's part of the chat now because I saw her in images at MegaCon. But Donna Ferran, I think
Mhm.
that's how you pronounce her last name. I have never seen her in chat ever. I've never seen her in chat in
She shows up
anything
in
that I
Jay's
watch.
chat. Yeah, she shows up.
But what's weird is she's constantly showing up on like my Facebook and other sites as a suggestion, like a friend suggestion. And I'm
Mhm.
like, I don't know who that is. I've never. And then I finally see her on all the images and stuff, like Cajun Corey showing and everything. And I'm like, okay, now I know who she is. So, well, watch now. She won't be suggested no more.
Yeah, she's usually really busy, so she just pops in randomly at different times of the day.
But yeah, I thought that was so weird. So I just wanted
Yeah,
to
I
share
got to
that.
meet her at MegaCon too. So that was cool. I met Deborah Perkins, John Ambler. I went to go meet Brimstone, but I was talking to Single Guy Cooking and Elite Super Grunt, Bruce Wayne. And by the time I turned around to introduce myself to Brimstone, he was gone. So I didn't get to meet Brimstone.
Were any of the other mods like Eric K or anyone there?
I know Jess was there. I don't think Eric and Lady Erin were there, but Jess and Canman were.
Yeah.
Because I really wanted to meet Alec Baldwin Spanger because I wanted to get his like in person reaction to the memes that I had done that Jess requested.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, and you saw his picture that won MegaCon, right?
oh yeah.
So,
That thing went wild. I don't know how he did it. I loved his story on was it Tuesday night? Yeah, it's Tuesday night's main event, and he's talking about how he's trying to get out of there, and everyone kept stopping him because he was like, "I got contraband here. I gotta get out of here."
Yeah, like he said, he was holding up his finger, and Alec Baldwin said, "Why are we doing this?" He's like, "Because you're number one." He's like, "Oh well, let's do it again then." And he held up his finger.
Oh,
It'd be so
subconsciously
funny if
he knew something was off about it.
Well, and the sad part is his ego just let him follow through with it anyway.
Uh-huh.
And just the 199 shirt with Gary's hat just set it off perfectly.
Oh yeah.
So
man.
That was a good one.
All right. Well, we got a little under 20 minutes here. Let's go ahead and talk about this movie. So, called At First Sight. It's based on a true story. Now, I don't have the names of the real people here, so I'm kind of kicking myself in the behind because I should have had all that stuff pulled up already. But I really enjoyed this movie, and let me see if I can pull up my critic list here. Try not to keep dead air. Now I don't know why, but the cover photo or the poster to the movie, I thought that Mira's that the I thought she was Sandra Bullock for some reason.
Oh, because the way the side profile, in some of the shots, her profile kind of looks like Sandra Bullock.
Yeah. So as you see there, I gave it a rad, a 68%, and it came out in 1999. Now, for some reason, I was thinking it was older than that. So
yeah, I thought so too.
Because like I've even read some articles that talked about how this was like one of his breakout roles, and it's like, well, if it came out in 99, it wasn't a breakout role because I think his actual breakout role was Tombstone. Like he was like a lot of people credit Top Gun, but he didn't really have the fame until Tombstone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. A lot of people liked him as Iceman, but I know they really do like his character in Tombstone. He played it
I,
really, really well. And
I still
apparently he
use
was
the
actually
line.
sick.
I still use the line to this day. I'm your Huckleberry. Like I use it in real life, and people are like, "What the hell does that mean?" And I have to go through the whole shebang of explaining it, and then when they finally get it, they're like, "Oh, that was clever," and I'm like, "Evidently not, because you didn't get it. I had to explain it."
So
But so yes, it is very much a chick flick. Um, Beast. I know you say it looks like a woman's movie. Well, yes, but it's a woman's movie that, for whatever reason, was a major part of my childhood. So
The
that's why.
the acting felt over the top in some places where it kind of felt a little cheesy with the dialogue, but it
Mhm.
worked. But at the
Yeah.
time,
yeah,
Well,
and
the
I
one.
think that's what it was. I don't think it aged that well for me because I started watching it again last night. I hadn't seen it since it came out. And I think part of the problem was they just didn't really seem to have a natural chemistry
Yeah.
for the intimacy of the scenes that they had.
hmm
Well,
it's
the thing they.
interesting because it kind of reminds me of Only You with Robert Downey Jr. and Marissa Tomei, and
Hmm.
I was like, I was comparing it to that because even though the dialogue was cheesy, Marissa Tomei and Robert Downey had great chemistry.
Right.
So they made the comedy work. With here, I honestly thought Val Kilmer was the best at what he was doing, even if
Mhm.
his movements felt a little silly at first. But like he
Yeah.
was trying to, what he felt was like how a blind guy reacts to things. But
I
Yeah.
think that's what really hurt it is you had a bunch of people making a movie that was based on a true accounts of an actual blind person, but the people who made the movie didn't really know anything about blind people. Is what it felt like to me. Now, I s- I guess maybe because of the nostalgia aspect of it, I still enjoyed it. Going back and watching again since I haven't seen it in probably 20 plus years. Plus, Mira Sorvino, she's not hard to look at from a guy's perspective, so that helped. Um, there were some. I mean, I don't think it really showed any nipples or anything, but there was a side profile that was pretty hot.
Hmm.
they
Um,
they kept it tasteful, so it wasn't like a whole lot of it. There was no like full nudity, but you saw skin.
mhm,
Yeah.
right.
I think for me, it was like Christian Slater had a movie called Bed of Roses that um, he did a good job, but his leading actress seemed a little off and a little forced, and there was no real chemistry. It kind of kept reminding me of that movie all throughout the movie. And I honestly didn't realize that this was actually based on a real story, on a real couple, uh, until I read it. I think this morning I was reading about it, and I didn't realize it was a true story. So
In the
maybe that's why
beginning,
it was so cheesy because they had to write it as it actually happened.
right. Well, what made it hard is they from the articles I read on it, they were praising it because they stayed true to the biography, but then they still changed names. Well, the only reason you change the names is so you can have creative freedom.
Hmm.
So I'm reading these articles and I'm like, so why did they change the name? Like they're why did they change the names of the individuals when they stayed so coherent to the actual biography? That didn't
Yeah.
make any sense to me. And then there's the fact that I don't know how they really ended up together because from what I saw in the movie, it seemed like it was all just a like a physical attraction. Even from his perspective, it was a physical attraction from him giving her a massage.
Yeah.
So, but then they end up married and everything, and it felt really jarring. Then the fact that a little bit of spoilers here, she goes to the doctor because she reads an article and she does it without even discussing it with him. Like if they had shown like maybe they previously discussed the idea of him getting his sight back, then she sees an article or something. It narratively it felt jarring and it felt like she didn't really care about him. Everything she was doing was for her and her
Mhm.
own experiences.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like it didn't. It made me feel like they cut a lot out of the story, um, because, like you said, they meet one day, and then within a couple of days, she's looking up all these famous doctors to get his sight back, and they aren't
Mhm.
even really dating or anything. So why would you put all this work into it to convince him to have surgery if you guys aren't that important to each other yet? That just didn't make any sense to me. So
Right.
they must have cut something out of the story.
Well, and the way they did it in the movie, she does all that before she even meets his family.
Exactly. So that's, I guess that's what it was they must have cut out a lot of it for the sake of condensing the movie down into,
Hmm.
an hour and a half or whatever runtime it has. But I think that the movie suffered because of that, because it kind of jumps in off the deep end really quick. And you're like, why would you do
Yeah.
that if you just met him? It doesn't make sense.
Well, it kind of felt like she had just met him and she was trying to fix him, and it's like, why?
Hmm.
If he's more comfortable being blind, because when he did was able to see, he had to learn how to see and learn how to not get paranoid about what he was seeing, and so
Well,
um,
think about
there's
the
a
trauma she put him through. I
Hmm.
mean, he's seeing things that he doesn't know how to respond. I mean, even the doctor said he's having to reteach his brain how to interact with the world.
Hmm. And she didn't take any of that into consideration. What that new sense, you get that fifth sense back, that's going
Hmm.
to throw off your other four senses that you've relied on for so
Mhm.
long to compensate for that fifth one that you didn't have.
Yeah.
So then you have to readjust your other four senses.
And she was trying to, like, blind herself with the, sash around her eyes and walk around her apartment, and she tripped. And it's like, "Okay, so you're trying to put yourself in his shoes for, like, a few seconds, but he has to try to adjust massively to being able to see." But
Hmm.
it's like you're trying to fix him, and there was nothing wrong with him in the first place.
No, that I mean, from from the things that I've seen, there has been in the 20 years since this movie, there has been significant advances in ocular medicine. Um, but they will not even consider looking at someone for potential surgery after a certain point. Meaning, like if they went blind, like if they're born blind or they went blind at like an early age, um, they won't even consider them. Like say
Hmm.
someone went blind at 8 and they're now in their 30s, they're not
Because
getting that surgery now.
their chances of having full visual, uh, impairment is gonna be low because they spent
Right,
so long blind.
Right. They
right.
would have to actually get a new pair of eyes, basically, from a cadaver before they would put them through a surgery to fix it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, but the things I have seen, there have been some failures, but it's about 50-50. It's like if it was more exact, it's probably more like 60-40
Hmm.
in favor of it actually working, which is a good stat to have. It means the ones that they do accept, you're more likely for it to work than not. But still, like for me personally, at a 60-40, that's still a 50-50 to me.
That's
It
still really
just
high. Yeah.
um, so I mean, I don't know. It was really fascinating. I got to learn a lot of things from, my own personal research and looking into it, learning that there was a real couple and everything. I don't think just based on what I saw in the movie and the research I did, I don't think it was actually as true to the biography as the media said it was. Now, this
Right.
was the 1990s media, but it's still, I mean, they're still married today. They're in their 60s now, the real people.
Wow.
They're living in Atlanta. And I'm like, I don't think they had such a turbulent beginning of the relationship like what's shown in the movie.
They all make it Hollywood dramatic for
Mhm.
entertainment purposes, but it's like, why can't we ever just show real couples being real couples? Why do we have to have this? I mean, I get it from a certain standpoint. Yeah, drama is necessary, but a lot of it is, but then that's more of fiction rather than realistic.
Mhm. That's
Right.
like when the chair was out of place and he, stubbed his leg on the chair and she freaked out over it, talking about you can't move furniture with a blind man around and so on. And she got so overly dramatic about it. I think that was a little extreme,
Oh
you
yeah.
know.
Well, because it's like you realize you have to make adjustments for him, not, and it's like you can get used to it. He can't. You have to be able to maneuver.
Hmm. But
So
what was that? His sister, I guess it was, that freaked
Yeah.
out just because the chair was moved.
yeah,
Well, she was already stressed out because he was, someone new in his life
Hmm.
and everything. So I kind of got she was lashing out not really because of the chair, she was lashing out because of the situation.
Yeah, because she was already trying to control his life.
Right. So, well, we've only got about 3 more minutes here. I'm going to do some house cleaning here, and then we will go into the closing statements. So real quick, if those of you who follow me on X and whatnot, you'll know that I have got a book. I will share this on the screen. Now, this project has been an idea probably for a couple years, but I kept putting it off because I'm a procrastinator. And then I found an AI site that helped me flesh out the book, write it out. So here's the book. It is in pre-order right now. It goes live on April 1st. We'll talk about it more on the 1st and on Sunday. But it's called The Door of Despair, and it's a wild, weird teen adventure in the style of like Tales of the Crypts and Goosebumps. And so I'm really excited about it. And so yeah, I know I brought it up to Makara. I've been hassling her. I brought it up to Donna. So been hassling all my friends to get it, pre-ordered. But my hope is not so much that this book is successful. I just hope it's successful enough because I'd really like it to be a graphic novel. And my hope is that I really want to put it through Rip Ascend and stuff. Is That's my goal. But
That would be cool.
really, I would just, if this is successful enough, that'll allow doors to open. And so yeah, I've got fingers crossed for this, and I really hope it does well. So just wanted to share that before we close things out this evening. But first and foremost, I want to thank Miss Donna Hall for coming on today. I very much appreciate it. I love it when any of y'all from the Unfiltered Outlaws podcast come on. We're going to have to get Spider on next, so we'll have to set that up sometime, hopefully for next month. And I'll probably have Makara pick out the topics since she's more familiar with martial arts.
well, I'm sure he'd be happy anytime. But I know we were going to talk about that for when I go on for their show. But yeah, I'm sure Spider would, even DeBeast would be really good with the martial arts movies. He likes them too, I think. So.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. And we can always, if you want to get Spider on, we can always preempt one of our Sunday streams because he works through the week.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So unless you guys do an evening show, it would probably have to be a weekend show to get him on.
Well,
Okay.
I'm always open to doing like a pre-recorded one and then just airing it during the regular time slot.
Yeah.
So we could
Yeah.
always do that. I just
That
have to
would
figure out how to
probably work
record.
out best, but you'd have to ask him on that front.
Hmm
But I appreciate you all having me on. It's been a fun time.
Absolutely.
I very much enjoyed it. Why don't you tell everyone where they can find you, Miss Donna?
Well, the Unfiltered Outlaws podcast. We do streams three days a week. We do Sunday afternoon, the Sunday Saloon at 1 p.m. Eastern. We are currently doing a Monday mashup, which is whatever mood swing we happen to have. That's usually Mondays at 7 Eastern. And then we do Wednesday streams where we do like our versus movies. Like last time we did Apocalypse Now versus Breaker Morant. And then we like to have a lot of guests on to help us hash through the movies and, see who did it best. So we do those at 7 p.m. Eastern also. And I'm on X and I'm on YouTube. That's
there
it.
you are. All right. Well, Mac, where can everyone find you?
Wednesdays usually we do. I'm on with Brimstone and Wasp, and then on Thursdays I'm obviously here, and then on Twitter, and I have a YouTube channel called Art by Makara. So.
And I've got all those links in the description today. I was ahead of the game with that. Maybe not for my actual topics, but at least I got all the links in the description. You can find all of those there. And then, as always, everyone, you can find us here at Draken Culture Media here on YouTube. You can find me at Draken_199 on X. And we will see you all next week. And you can catch me on the Unfiltered Outlaws Sunday Saloon with Donna and the rest of the crew this Sunday.
That's correct.
Have a good day, y'all.
Bye-bye, everybody.